Lord Mayor, I know obviously we'll have a number of different priorities that sit within agreed existing policies that the Council has that we want to raise with the incoming executive ministers. But I'd like to formally propose that we add one more of those in relation to the any meeting with the Education Minister and the Department for Education. I think all of the Leicestershire councillors will know the importance of the vibrancy that Forge Integrated Primary School brings to our local area. And parents there and the whole school community have been waiting for a long number of years for progress in relation to their new build in the old Knockbreda High School site of the A55. And so it came as a great shock to parents and to the whole school community, teachers and many people in the local area whenever it was announced that funding was being cut to Forge's new build, along with, I believe, 9 other schools, including Millenium Integrated, which would have some of a catchment area coming into parts of South and East Belfast. I think it is a deeply regressive move to see this school, which has placed so many of its hopes on moving to this new site, on being able to have a purpose-built school location to reflect the fact that there is a growing demand for integrated education within South East Belfast, and to be able to work well, as it does currently, with neighbouring schools like St Bernard's Primary School, like Knockbreda Primary School, Knockbreda Nursery, that would all be in the kind of in direct proximity to the site that was agreed for things to go ahead. So I don't think we can stand for a position where these schools are losing out on this funding, having waited for so long, and I would like us to make it a priority in any meeting with the Education Minister that we stand up for schools like Forge and the other schools that are losing out on this funding, and saying this has been a long committed project. The money has been committed for quite some time. We've had issues with Forge around the planning application and the Department of Infrastructure being difficult, surprise, surprise. But we want to get on with this project and make sure it is delivered. So it should be a priority for this Council whenever it meets the Department for Education and the new Education Minister to secure that funding. I am keen to find out, and I hope maybe there are some of the parties in the Chamber can enlighten us in relation to this, about when any announcement was made to parties as part of the negotiation process for the formation of an executive about when this funding was going to be cut and what powers ministers would have to be able to try and redirect it back in to make sure that these schools were built. I think it's very important that we get clarity in relation to that. There was a feeling, certainly in the local community, that this news was snuck out on a Friday afternoon and schools were left over the weekend having to try and pick up the pieces to communicate through to their wider school community in relation to it. And I don't think that's acceptable. So I want us to make sure that it's a priority issue and that we get Forge built.